just had to throw in about the patches.
You just wanted to get me stirred up already. You might as well just say something about my Cowboys.
I'm sure Detroit had plenty to say about them. No. So, first topic of the night. Should 3 3/4 inch action figures make a return? Like a full-on return, because we know that there is some 3 3/4 inch out there, but generally it's pretty rare. Star Wars still does a little bit in the Legacy collection. You see Super 7 out there. But should 3 3/4 inch, should that return? Should that be a norm now, like 6-inch scale is?
You know, I don't think it should, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
For 2 reasons. One, because of the price point. You know, the only way I think most of us are buying 3.75 is when they hit the Ross. I know that's what I do.
Yep.
I don't buy the Reaction Joes or the Star Wars 375 unless they're like $4 or $5. And plus another thing, last toy show I went to, I grew up with G.I. Joe Star Wars 3.75. I loved them then. Yep. But once I've got this in 6-inch form, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back. I look at them and it just doesn't appeal to me like the 6-inch does. And I just don't see it being very marketable and profitable because the price point that they would want to put these things at. I mean, you look at the Star Wars that are on the pegs, the 3.75s, they're what, $16 to $22 regular price? I mean, are you going to go buy a 3.75-inch Lifeline for $20?
Okay. I'm the wrong person to ask that question because, yes, I would. Because I already bought the 4 Super 7 O-ring style G.I. Joes for 20 apiece. However, I am in the minority here. So I agree with you. The price for 3 3/4 inch is too close to what 6-inch scale is. It doesn't make sense to pay practically the same price for half the figure. I have the same problem with the Masters of the Universe Origin figures that are only about 5 inches, like 4.5, 5 inches, being the same price as Masterverse figures. And I also agree the other problem, not just the figures are priced. What I love about 3 3/4 inch is it opens up the possibilities for vehicles and play sets. But taking a look at Hasbro and what they're doing with Star Wars 3 3/4 inch and vehicles and play sets is like a 3 3/4 inch X-Wing is over $100. A crappy play set of like Cloud City where it's like a little platform or like the hallway that Darth Vader walked down in episode 4, it's like $50 for that. So the price point, I don't know if they just figure the market's not there, so they have to charge more or what. But with the price point where it's at, I want 3 3/4 inch to return, but not at the prices that they would charge on it.
And to elaborate a little more on what you said, now this what would make me afraid of that. If they're charging $20 for that O-ring G.I. Joe,
yeah,
you're talking about the difference between classified. Classified is what, 25?
Yep.
Okay, Hasbro's going to say, oh, well, and they're going to up the classified price. So now we're paying $35 to make that difference. And no, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I say that, but then I'll probably still buy the thing anyway. But I don't want to.
Yeah, no, it's... See, you're happy with 6-inch and you don't want to pay the scale. I like 6-inch, but I love the possibilities of the smaller scale, but I don't want to pay what the smaller scale is going to bring because I know we're not going to go to an affordable level with it. It's going to be... I think you're right. I think if they started producing more 3 3/4 inch, I think they would then raise the price on 6-inch stuff further.
Yeah. Now, the most I would pay for that regular price, say hits Walmart, Target, whatever, $10, $12 max. That's it. That's the highest price point I would pay.
I would go like 12, like 12-ish, $12.99 or something. I feel like would be the max for me.
But oh man, that scares me when you say that. I know I've heard the O-ring G.I. Joe's coming back, and I don't think the Star Wars 3.75 inch is doing very well. You see a crap ton of them show up. Now, maybe the main characters do well in that. Yeah. You know, for somebody who's maybe just wanting to start their Star Wars collection. But I don't know that these Mandalorian shows and the Book of Boba Fett and all that 3.75, I don't see anybody that's paying $17, $22 for these things. I'm not saying they ain't. I guess somebody is, but I don't see
it. You know, that brings me, that we'll have another, that's going to spawn another question that I'll ask you later on if we've got time. We'll save that Star Wars question as a separate question later on, because you bring up an interesting point about Star Wars specifically. So,
and see, RAR says 20 is too much for the size and what they come with, in his opinion.
I agree. And the only reason I know people are upset at Super 7 for releasing the G.I. Joe O-rings at $20 a piece. But when Hasbro tried to do 2 packs of 3 3/4 inch O-ring Joes like a year or two ago, they had a couple of 2 packs that they only had for sale on Hasbro Pulse, and they were $40 for the 2 pack. So Hasbro already set that price bar where they were charging $20 themselves. So of course a smaller company like Super 7 is going to say, well, Hasbro was charging $20. We're smaller anyway. We got to charge at least $20. So Hasbro already set that price precedent at $20, which kind of sucks.
You know, speaking of that, that's going to lead into another thing that I have too, and I'll probably just go ahead and get to it next. But the smaller companies having to charge these prices, I mean, I get it because they can't mass produce like these other companies and stuff. Yeah. But a lot of these companies are making really great figures.
Oh, yeah.
But it's just so hard to pay $35, $55, you know, for this stuff when you can probably just wait and get the same stuff from a Hasbro or Mattel for $20, $25.
Right.
You know, now, the companies I think that are kind of thriving with that, and I'll get into more of that in a minute, is the ones that can have the rights to stuff that others can't. And it's more into wrestling. There's, you know, rights and stuff. You know, people got the rights to this person, that person. And then people want that figure, but they can't get it from Mattel because Mattel doesn't have the rights to that person. They don't have them under a WWE Legends deal or whatever, you know? But a lot of great stuff, and maybe at the end, I'll even bring a few out and just show a couple of different things from these other companies, but they're more wrestling-related stuff. But a great question and a great topic, and if you guys got any more thoughts on that, go ahead and lay it out there. Do you have anything else on that topic?
No. The only thing else I'm going to say is YFZ brings up a good point that Super 7 has to pay, obviously, a licensing fee to Hasbro. However, that then just makes me angrier at Hasbro, who didn't have to charge a licensing fee of themselves when they were charging, it was like $40 or $42 for their 2 packs of 3 3/4 inch. But now they're also charging $25 for classified. That's their own property, which is the same as Marvel Legends that they're paying a licensing fee on. So it's like they've now established this price point, and they're probably got a very slim margin on Marvel and Star Wars, but they're making us pay that back in G.I. Joe and Transformers that they own the copyright on. So
it's all about the almighty dollar, man.
Yeah. So thanks, YFZ. You just made me hate Hasbro even more.
Join the club, guys. Yeah. Join the club. Yeah. But ain't neither one of us gonna get sponsored by Hasbro.
Oh, absolutely. I'm not gonna get sponsored by anybody.
I don't know. I think you gotta pinpoint on that Ollie's thing.
Maybe Ollie's. Ollie's is probably the only company that's going to sponsor me. Although recently I've been pointing out how prices at Ollie's versus prices at Ross, like who's got stuff cheaper.
But I mean, you're getting a little older anyway. You're kind of looking like that Ollie's guy anyway. So. I mean, I'm just saying.
Good point. Good point.
All right. So to lead off of that, I'm going to jump right in. Now, what I want to talk about is a certain company, And then this is going to lead into what other companies haven't done. So just to get this out, I'm talking about Power Town. This is a new company. The two main head guys are wrestling related guys, Greg Gagne and Magnum TA. And they're bringing out the older classic wrestlers from back in the day. I think it's the first time we're getting, God, I can't even remember the guy's name. Anyway, we're getting all these older wrestlers from the olden days. Wahoo McDaniels, Junkyard Dogs, even though we've had a few of these, but not in a long time. And they're bringing Kamalas and all this stuff together, right?
Yeah.
So they're bringing out these figures. And I got the first line of these figures. They were really pretty good. I mean, there's a few little nitpick things, you know, but overall the boxing was great. It just took a while to get here. Well, now they've already got like 4 other pre-orders out there, and we haven't seen anything yet. Now, just give you a little more backstory how this all came about. My man Kyle Peterson called them out and said, hey, what's the deal? Where's our figures? We ain't heard nothing. Well, Matt Cardona, who does the Major Pod figures and stuff like that, they make figures of him and Brian Myers. So they called them out. Like in a day or two, Magnum TA got a hold of them. And that's what spawned all this that I'm finna tell you. So they came up with this idea and they responded, and I got the email, which I wish I would have got it the day they sent it. I didn't get it to the next day because I was busy, so I missed out on it a little bit. But it got an email and it said, we owe you one. So what they did for the delays, anybody who had ordered even one figure got to get a free figure from the first run. Now, these figures are $55 a pop. Now, if you'd ordered the series, which I did, and you ordered more than one, you got 2 figures. So it said, we owe you 2. So that's $110. I'm getting 2 more figures, even though I already have them. You know, as collectors, I mean, I could resell it. I can open it, keep one in the box, yada, yada, whatever. Right. Just the belts in these figures were going for $30 to $60 because people were wanting these belts that were in there, right? So my deal is, have you ever heard of a company, let's say Hasbro, you know, they just came out and said, oh, wait, your Dragonfly's not going to be there. Have they said, oh, we owe you one? We're going to give you a free figure. We're going to give you 50% off of your Hasbro Pulse membership, or, you know, the next thing you order online. Has Mattel said, hey, the next Mattel creation is on us? I ain't heard none of this.
So I'm going to tell you right now, Hasbro will never do that, ever. Hasbro is too full of themselves to ever do that. In fact, just a quick story with Hasbro. I had, like 2 years ago, let my Pulse Premium membership lapse, and I had placed orders that had shipping attached to them because I had let my free shipping with the Pulse Premium lapse. And it was only by a couple days, and I noticed that, and I called customer service. I was like, hey, I just renewed my Pulse Premium. It only lapsed a couple days. Can you refund me the shipping on like the 2 orders that they just charged me for? And they were like, no. And I looked through my pre-orders, and I saw that they had added shipping to the pre-orders that I also had that hadn't shipped yet because the premium account had lapsed. I said, well, can you remove the shipping from that? They said, no, you have to cancel those orders and reorder them, and re-pre-order them.
What the hell?
I was like, all right, well, I'm going to cancel them all, and I'm going to go pre-order them from a different website, which I did. I canceled all of my pre-orders up to that point, and I pre-ordered everything off of Amazon and Big Bad Toy Store instead. Now, I ended up keeping my premium membership because I still do want to save the shipping on the HasLabs, because the HasLab shipping, you know, is like $25, $30 for these HasLabs, and then with a couple other bonuses, it still kind of pays for itself. But Hasbro will absolutely never hook you up with anything. The Dragonfly is going to be, that was supposed to be to us in like August, September. That's going to be like basically 3 months late. And yeah, they're not going to give us an extra, you know, figure in it or a gift card or like even a coupon or anything.
And why couldn't they just say, hey, here's a Cobra Trooper. Everybody would have been happy with that because we like to troop build.
Yeah.
You know, you could have gave us a range finder, a crimson guard, something. But I don't know. Give me 1 second, 80s. I'm gonna grab something real fast. I'm gonna catch a little more on this real quick.
All right, guys. While Beef is away from the chat, now's your time to talk about Beef in the chat.
Too late. I'm back.
Don't say anything.
I might be old, but I ain't that slow. So here's the Power Town figure. So I did get a second one of this one coming.
Okay.
This is Stan Hansen right here.
Now, was this a crowdfunder like HasLabs? Like, did you have to pay up front?
Well, I mean, you had to pre-order them if you wanted them, but it wasn't.
But did they charge you when you pre-ordered it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. But it wasn't like we got to get a certain amount of backers before we do this.
Okay, but they charged you on the pre-order as opposed to charging you when it finally shipped.
Yes.
So they had your money. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
And
so
that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
had our money for a year and a half. At least
Yeah.
you're giving something back, you know?
I think
had a zombie sailor figure I waited a year and a half for. So
yeah.
and here's Kerry Von Erich out of the package.
I mean, it's a great looking figure.
But these are $55 a pop.
Yeah.
Now, I've showed this before, but I want to show this again. I still say this was a rib on poor Kerry. This is a great figure and a great idea. I've never seen this from a figure before. These knee pads did not come on. They came in the package. So to put these knee pads on, you got to pop his leg off. You can't tell me that was not a rib on him. They could not have saved him for like the second wave or something and then let us get maybe used to this idea first.
Yeah, because he lost his leg. That's kind of.
So, but I do like the idea of that. It's just with that figure, a little cringy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it's a little morbid. Yeah,
but I think they're good figures. They're a little loose in the ankle for me, but other than that, I mean, the hands I think were a little small, and I would have liked them to be Mattel size. They're a little off in the size. Here's a Mankind figure. See how they're like putting a McFarlane to a Marvel, you know?
Yeah, a little bit taller.
But I really enjoy the figures, and I know they're a new company, and that's why they're doing it because they don't want to lose people. I get it,
right?
You know, so basically they're paying us all. Please stay with us. You know what I mean? Essentially, that's what it is. But I don't mind that. I'd rather you do that than nothing.
I agree. I think that's incredible what they did. I mean, that instills a lot of confidence into future customers. And so how long was it between you pre-ordering and finally getting the figure?
Well, okay, here's a little backstory to that.
Okay.
It happened a little longer because the first run, there were some issues with the first run. Some people were getting them. Now, I didn't get mine yet. But some people got theirs, and the legs were breaking.
Okay.
So they recalled everything, and so we had to wait longer.
Gotcha.
So it was, what, a year and a half?
So it is like, it's about as bad as Hasbro. Maybe a little bit worse than Hasbro because they had to do the recall and then ship out again.
So, but my thing is, too, now this is just conspiracy talk. So when they did say, hey, here's these free figures, is this the broken figures that we're getting?
Oh.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, because what did they do with them? You know, they never put them out there at a discount or, you know, I'm sure they didn't just destroy them.
And maybe they were. Do you think they just fixed them and sent them back out?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to open the ones I get back anyway. I'm going to keep them in the box and open the ones I already have.
Right.
So if they're broke, I ain't going to be able to know because it's still in the box, you know? But
I really feel these companies have to be able to deliver these Kickstarter projects faster than they're doing. McFarlane's just started doing Kickstarters now for their superpowers line. He's doing like Kickstarters on the vehicles and like bonus figures with the vehicles. Hasbro's doing the HasLabs. Making people wait 12 to 15 months it's ridiculous. It's really ridiculous. They should be able to deliver these under a year, to the customers.
Yeah, I get it, man. It's terrible. And some of the companies are getting better. I think Zombie Sailor's gotten better now. Like the last couple I got from him, once they went up for pre-order, that was basically like the order. Mattel Creations is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes you put the order in like a pre-order, you may get it in 2 days to 2 weeks.
I mean, I'll be honest. I would be more inclined to back more HasLabs I normally wouldn't if I knew I was getting the stuff quicker. Like I probably would have done that Optimus Prime Ultra Magnus like HasLab because I love that version of the Transformers. I like those versions of the character. But by then I already had the Giant Man money out there. I had the Dragonfly money out there. I knew the Rattler was coming, so I knew that was like a must buy. Like, I don't want to have my money for 4 HasLabs sitting out there without getting anything back. If they'd be delivering these HasLabs,
I have it out there on 4.
Yeah, like it sucks. Like that's like easily $1,000 you got sitting out there with no product yet that you're waiting for. Because I've got the 3 right now. Now at least Giant Man should be coming hopefully within the next couple of weeks, and then the Dragonfly after that. But I'm glad they didn't announce another HasLab because I don't want to back anything until I get.
No, I get it. I'm right there with you. Hey guys, make sure y'all are liking the live, share the live out, put the hashtag FYF, hashtag FYP. We're gonna keep this thing rocking and rolling like a young Brutus Beefcake. And 80s kid, you're up next. What's the question? What's the topic?
All right. So, in your opinion, best toy line with the most enjoyable, most inventive, greatest vehicles and playsets. So, what is your toy line that you associate with amazing vehicles and playsets?
Man, that's tough. I mean, I've got to go back to when I was a kid. The Masters of the Universe and the Castle Grayskull and the Snake Mountain, where you could speak through the microphone in those boys or whatever. I mean, those 2 right there was some of it for me. Mm-hmm. I liked the G.I. Joe base. I never had the Defiant or whatever you're always looking for. I never had that or the flag, but I had the little base with the gel in it. I thought that thing was done really well. Now I'm just going off of what I had, now I've seen that Super 7 Thundercat thing. That thing looks freaking amazing, but I'm never probably going to get it, so I'm not going to put it up there. I'm only going to put something in there that I've really had in hand, so I'll probably have to go with that. And probably even though it wasn't great, it was just at that time of my childhood, I really enjoyed it, so I got to go with the Motu.
Okay, that's fair. Motu did have a lot of great vehicles, and they had a lot of vehicles. And of course, they had like Castle Grayskull and Snake Mountain. They had and they had Eternia. Although I never knew anybody that had Eternia, but I've seen it at least at some toy shows and things. For me, in the 80s, I'm gonna go with G.I. Joe because G.I. Joe literally did everything. There's like nothing that you could picture that Hasbro didn't create for G.I. Joe. They started off with the Mobat tank, the headquarters, the Dragonfly. They moved on to the flag, the Defiant. They literally had everything. Like, it was insane. That toy line probably had the most vehicles and playsets of any toy line ever. I can't imagine any other toy line, including Star Wars, had nearly as many vehicles or playsets as G.I. Joe did. But in the late 80s into the 90s, I think the Ninja Turtles really put out a lot of fun vehicles and playsets also that were very imaginative. Between the Technodrome, you had the sewer playset, you had the blimp, you had the pizza thrower, you had the sewer tubes. Like they had a range of everything from like cheap vehicle for, you know, folks with a small budget to, you know, crazy vehicles like the Technodrome and things. So those are two lines that I really respect the play sets and the vehicles for.
Gotcha. Now, see, when the Turtles came out, it was a little late for me, you know. Yeah. So I only had like some of the figures. I mean, I might have had like a little skateboard and, you know, one of them other little, like a motorcycle or something.
Yeah.
But I didn't have the Technodrome. That's why I really want the Technodrome when it comes out. I still haven't seen it yet, but I do want to pick it up.
I wonder if it's going to make it to stores or if it's just an online exclusive. I haven't seen it in stores either. I wonder if I know it's on Amazon.
Other junk up there at Target. I don't see why it wouldn't. Now you do have to look. Sometimes there's a different area in Target where it'll hold the bigger stuff. Because that's where I found the Gray Skull and stuff when they redid them and put them out. They had them on the back wall over there.
My only concern with Target, well, we'll know in a month or so. We'll know this holiday season. But I'm just thinking, like at Target, I know that separate section you're thinking of that's got, you know, the large toys there, especially during the holidays when they set that up. But at Target, like on the Transformers level, I haven't seen the last couple Titans that they've done for Transformers, like the Decepticon Nemesis ship, the purple ship that transforms like the Ark does. I never saw that at Target or Walmart, although I've never seen any of those large-scale items at Walmart anymore. And I haven't seen the Tidal Wave, the most recent one that breaks up into like 3 small ships. I haven't seen that Titan either. So I guess that goes to another thing where I wonder if stores are playing it safe now with those like high-dollar toys, because I think the action figure aisle is kind of dying, except for our age group, like that 25 to like 55 age group. I think the toy aisle is kind of dying, and I'm wondering if these retailers just don't want to take a chance on something that takes up a lot of space.
Well, I don't think that I'm afraid people are going to steal it, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, you see that thing, they just busted all them people with all them Legos and stuff the other day. I mean, good Lord.
Andrew, why didn't you pick up the Steel McFarlane? That's probably for me, since I'm always posting the Target things. I don't know. I probably didn't.
I think he's talking about Commander Steel. I'm waiting for it to go to discount. They got enough of them.
Yeah. Andrew, they got so many of them, it'll hit clearance, and I don't even know who Commander Steel is.
I don't know. I mean, I've heard the name, but I don't.
I'm not as familiar with DC as I am Marvel, so somebody like Commander Steel, I'm not familiar with.
But real quick, we'll pause real fast. I will show you what I did pick up. We picked up Clock King.
Very nice.
And we picked up Ragman.
Okay.
And once we hit the collector spot, we got the Platinum Clock King.
Nice. I like that look better, actually.
And we got the Platinum Ragman. Now, I think I like the regular one of this one better and the Platinum one of the Clock King better, to be honest.
Yeah.
But there you go. No Commander Steel, but we did get those. All right. Who's up? Me or you? Me?
You. R.A. Art said that he thinks that the Technodrome might be an Amazon exclusive. Not sure if it's a timed exclusive or not. It might be an Amazon exclusive. That's the only place I've seen it anyway, is on Amazon.
I'll have to go look. Thank you, Andrew. Even though you was on me for a minute for not picking up the steel, but I made up for it with these, man. Okay, good. I appreciate it. So, all right, this one's going to be like a two-parter.
All right.
So, first off, we know Mortal Kombat is not in the hands of McFarlane anymore. The licensing is up. What company would you like to get Mortal Kombat?
Mortal Kombat also appears to be up with Storm Collectibles. Storm Collectibles was doing Mortal Kombat at the same time that McFarlane was, but all of the figures that they had announced don't appear to be coming to fruition, and it appears that they also don't have the license for Mortal Kombat anymore, or need to at least renegotiate it. I mean, the obvious answer is Jada Toys for me to take Mortal Kombat. After seeing what they've done with the Street Fighter line, I don't see why they wouldn't kill the Mortal Kombat line. I think they'd be perfect for the Mortal Kombat line. It's right up their alley.
No, I agree. I mean, I don't think there's any other choice. I mean, not saying Mattel or somebody couldn't do a good job. I really don't want Hasbro to get it. I don't want Hasbro to get their hand on any other license, to be honest. And I hate to say that, but I'll still buy their stuff. Don't get me wrong. I'm not. Yeah. There's so much that they could do better, but they just like basically spit it in our face all the time. And I get tired of it, but I'm not tired of the point where I won't still buy the stuff. You know, and that's a me problem, I guess. But Jada Toys has done a great job. I hope they finish out this Street Fighter line. And I really hope they get the Mortal Kombat line. I think it would be great. I mean, we need a good Reptile. We need a now Storm Collectibles did some good ones. The McFarlane one was trash to me, bro.
Yeah.
Just because they were cheap, but golly.
Storm Collectibles did the ones they did look amazing. The only problem with Storm Collectibles is, of course, you're paying $80 to $120 for each one of them, so they're not cheap. But they did a lot of the characters in their classic Mortal Kombat, Mortal Kombat 2, Mortal Kombat 3 look. McFarlane all choose to do like Mortal Kombat 10 designs and stuff that I don't think as many fans that would buy Mortal Kombat figures are familiar with, because I feel like buying Mortal Kombat action figures appeals more to people like us that remember playing Mortal Kombat but aren't actively playing the new Mortal Kombat games.
Right.
And I don't think I'm wrong in saying that, because I would always see those Mortal Kombat figures discounted on shelves and sitting there. So I don't think they were flying off the shelves by any means. So you can't tell me that, oh, well, he's doing it because it's the popular version on PS4 or PS5. Well, those people are playing Mortal Kombat on PS4 or PS5. It's us that aren't playing the game but want the figures, and we want to have figures that represent the first couple games that we played back in the arcade back in the 90s.
Exactly.
And I think Jada Toys would do that too. I think Jada Toys, like they're doing with Street Fighter, would start with their classic looks first. And I think
that's what they should do. That's what they should do.
Yeah. Yep.
You know, if I was them, I would go game by game. But that's just me. R.A. Art said NECA, and here's two things with NECA. NECA would be good in a way because we would get a lot of accessories. I would love that part. But if you see what NECA puts out, NECA doesn't really produce the amount. I mean, they may produce like Jada Toys, but they don't produce out like Hasbro and Mattel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I don't know. And I don't want to pay $35 for it.
Yeah, that's the problem with
price point is $35 and that's it, bro.
Right. And you know, for me it wouldn't necessarily matter that it's NECA, because I'd probably keep them in package. But for the people taking them out of package, at least the NECA ones that I have, like they're pretty posable, but you also feel like you're going to snap something off of them at any given moment.
And he mentioned that too. Now, he does have a good point. Golden Axe figures, I think they would do a good job with that too. Now, Storm Collectibles ones look good. You ordered some the other day, didn't you?
Yeah, I already had the woman. I ordered the dwarf. I need to get the barbarian yet. They look beautiful. Storm, actually, it's funny. Storm makes great stuff for the price. Now Storm, and I think this is because of Jada. Honestly, I really think it's because of Jada. Storm is now going to do a more traditional 6-inch scale figure. I don't know what the price point is going to be on them yet, but they've already started showing previews, including Street Fighter figures in the more traditional 6-inch scale rather than their current scale. Like their figures range anywhere from like 7 to 8 inches and up. Like they are possibly close to McFarlane scale, but they're even a little bit larger than like McFarlane stuff. but now Storm's going to have a smaller, like legit 6-inch scale that I'm interested to see what they're going to charge for it.
Right. Yeah, Bart, man, I saw those Lord of the Rings figures. They do look really good. I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy, but and then Jax is making cool Sega figures. I agree, they are kind of cool. Yeah. They're a little too small for me. I think they're about 4-inch. If they were in 6-inch, I'd be all over it. I still may get the Altered Beast. I don't know if I'll get the Streets of Rage, Axel and Foley or whoever the other guy is.
They're in the same scale as a lot of
Beverly Hills Cop, but anyway.
Yeah, those Jax figures are like the same scale as a lot of the Nintendo figures. Not necessarily the Mario, but like the Metroid and the Legend of Zelda figures that are out. They're all in that 4-inch scale, which I really like. I think it looks cool. But for the Sega characters, like for Streets of Rage or Altered Beast, I'd love like a 6-inch version of those.
Yeah. I mean, I'd have been all over it. I wouldn't have passed on it the first time.
Yeah, just to get, now at least they're very cheap though. They're only like $9.99 or $10.99.
Yeah, I think it's $10. So I mean, it's not a bad price. But
yeah, I can't complain about that at all. Is that they're cheap, so you know you're not spending a ton.
Okay, we're gonna get to the second part of my question. I don't know what's going on. Is nobody liking this live or what?
Nobody likes it.
Some people saying that the likes were down. Something was going on. I don't know. I think TikTok's rearing back for people having these tappers and stuff. That's what I did here. So I don't know. But I was in a guy's live who usually has about 400,000 at that time, and he only had 100,000. And he'd been on there like 8 hours. So, but anyway.
Well, I'm gonna go down as your least liked live ever, Beast.
Who would have thought 80s would have killed the ratings?
Nobody ever likes my lives either. They just come to look at the toys and get yelled at. They don't ever tap like on my live.
But, you know, anyway, it's still a good show. I'm enjoying the conversation, guys. And hopefully it's at least getting recorded and going to be put on YouTube tomorrow, but even though it won't be on the Roku. But second part of the question is in the same lines of this.
Okay.
Mattel is losing the license for WWE in 2025. Now, I don't know exactly what month in 2025, but they are losing their licensing. Who would we want to take over if Mattel does not get it back? Hey, Jay, R.A.
See, that's a tough one. I don't want Hasbro to have it. I don't really want Hasbro to have it. I don't want McFarlane to get it, because then you're going to have 7-inch wrestling figures, so you're going to have a completely different scale than everything else.
That's the Power Town, I guess, but
yeah. And I don't know if I would say Jada for that, because Jada doesn't do any figures that actually look like real people. So I don't know how well they would do with real world likenesses of characters. So I can't really just say Jada. And if it goes to like NECA, I don't think NECA could produce the quantities you need for wrestling figures. I just don't think they have the ability to produce the waves as much or the volume of figures, because there's a lot of wrestling characters out there on the shelves at all time. There's usually like 4 or 5 figures to a wave. There's like a new wave every like 2 months or something. I don't think NECA could keep up with that demand. I feel like they're a little too more focused and smaller scale. I don't know. Who do you think it's going to go to?
Well, I hope Mattel gets it back. You know?
Yeah, I would hope that Mattel could just keep it, honestly.
But if not, I can't say Jada, because I don't think they could. Not only what the points you're saying, I don't think they could keep up with the production.
I don't think so either.
You know,
you can't find Street Fighter. I mean, you can kind of find Street Fighter on the shelves, but barely. But they only release like 2 figures every couple months, so it's
they're not going to be able to keep up with it. But 2, I would have to say, if Mattel doesn't get it back, would either be if Jax Pacific got back in the game.
Okay.
Because they did have the wrestling figures before.
Yeah, I remember.
Or got to go with Jazzwares. I mean, look at this AEW figure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, why not Jazzwares just do AEW and WWE? Unless that would cause a problem with their like agreement or contract with AEW.
And that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I don't think they're really a contender for it.
Yeah.
But
because I'm sure that would create a problem there unless they would drop AEW.
Yeah.
I would hope Mattel would just keep the license.
You know, if they could get the WWE license, I bet they would. Unless they had, under contract for certain years or something.
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't they drop? I would have to assume they drop AEW to get WWE. That would seem like a no-brainer.
Speaking of AEW, it's coming to HBO Max.
AEW is?
It's coming to Max. It's not HBO anymore, but...
Well,
yeah.
I can't. I think I told you. I tried watching AEW. It's very difficult to watch. It's not.
I agree.
It's not that entertaining of storylines. They don't really have great personalities on the mic. And, I mean, some of the wrestling's decent, but it's very unpolished. I couldn't watch AEW for very long. I gave it like 3 or 4 shots, and I'm like, I can't get into this.
No, I'm the same way. I mean, I kind of liked it in the beginning, but then once Cody and Punk was gone, it was just, the inmates were running the asylum. I just couldn't watch Jungle Jack off and, the young, whatever they are, young bucks. I don't know. Just killing the business. And they're right. They killed the business, but not in a good way. But,
yeah, Jay, I don't like that with NECA. If you want to make sure you don't break anything, you got to run it under hot water to loosen up all those joints. Yeah. I don't like that about NECA. Sometimes you find NECA broken in the box sitting on the shelf in the store.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, I hope Mattel would get it back. But, man, I'm kind of nervous, man. Kind of nervous.
Yeah.
But in a way, I think of my pocket, and I'm like, if it did go somewhere else, maybe it slows it down so there's not so much coming out.
See you, Art. Take care. Have a good dinner, Art.
All right. Be good, man. Thank you for stopping in. All right. On you, 80s.
All right. I'll go with my third planned question, but then I got a fourth question if we've got enough time to go.
Okay.
All right. You have no collection of action figures. You're resetting everything. You've never collected action figures, okay? So you got nothing. You're starting 0. You are a young beef that says you've got your own place now. Man, I want to collect something. What are you going to collect? And action figures are not allowed to be an option.
Okay.
Toys in general, so you can't say like Matchbox or anything. Toys in general are not an option.
It would either be one of two things. It would either be cards and sports memorabilia, or it would be like video game consoles and like arcade one-ups like I got in there.
Yeah.
It would be that.
Okay. Fair. Good choices. I'm very similar. I see Jay and Twin are throwing Lego comics. Jay says knives. Knives are actually very collectible. I wouldn't blame you at all. I'd love to collect swords or something. But I would probably still be kind of nerdy. So if I couldn't collect toys, which I'm going to include Lego in with toys, and I'm not going to include comics because I'm already collecting so many comics, I would leave that out. I would probably collect video games and consoles. Again, retro. So probably like 2000 and before. Or I would have collected statues. The one thing I wish I had space for that I don't, or money for, which I don't with all this stuff, is collecting like large scale statues. I think like all those like, video game and superhero statues that are like quarter scale and 2 feet tall or I think those look amazing. If I was starting fresh, I would probably collect statues or video games.
Got you.
That would be my thing.
I mean, I collected cards and stuff before when I was a kid, and then I got
me too.
So I could easily see myself getting back into something like that, or like I said, the video games.
Yeah. Yeah, I collected I did baseball, football, basketball back in the 80s and 90s until I got out of it. And I like ripping open the packs, but I think the problem with me now is even though I'm still a sports fan, I primarily only root for my team, and I don't know all the other players on other teams the way I did back when I was a kid. That just kind of followed everything and was really into like the sport as a whole. That I don't know if I would collect cards because I feel like I wouldn't know like random offensive linemen or defensive linemen from random teams. I'd be like, what is this? I just want to get my Eagles or like the superstars and not care as much about collecting the set per se for that entire year or something.
Now I don't know as many as I used to because I used to tell you almost everybody on the team.
Yeah.
But I still know most of the key players on all the teams because of fantasy football.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps me right there. But all right, good question, man. I don't know what's going on. We got 4,000 likes, guys. What is going on? Nobody likes the live, man.
Chris says video games and fish. Chris, fish is a very interesting answer there. Are we talking about like in an aquarium? Like you'd collect fish in an aquarium? Which I think would be very awesome. Or like are you collecting fish and like mounting them, like taxidermying fish?
He said, yeah.
Marvel Universe cards were epic, Twin. I agree. I've gone back and I've bought some Marvel Universe cards in recent months. They are a lot of fun. They are far more expensive now.
A bunch of those old cards, full sets.
Yeah.
I don't remember where they're at, but they're here somewhere.
I remember where mine were. I sold them at a garage sale about 12 years ago.
Well, I actually sold mine.
Okay.
My cousin was selling his lot, and I bought his whole lot of comics and cards. I still have the cards. I sold half of the comic books, made my money back, and then kept the rest.
Man, if you do a deep dive into your garage, you'd probably find all kinds of crazy stuff in there.
Oh, I know. It's coming. Once I get this new shed, then it's going to be some work going on over here.
Oh, there you go.
So, a lot to come.
Nice.
Yeah, garbage pail kids. Like I said, I used to have them, but they were like, the cards were like stickers back in the day.
Yeah.
And I would take them off and put them in my door frame. My room right there. Well, my mom used to have a fit. I mean, put that stuff up there. I did it anyway. But
Jay, records would be cool.
Follow, man. I appreciate it, Mateo. Okay, on me, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. This is kind of on the lines of what you did earlier, but you can still have toys.
Okay.
Take away what you got. All right?
Yep.
Or you can keep what you got. But from going forward,
yeah,
you can only collect 3 lines. What are they going to be? Only 3. Not everything you find at clearance at Ross and Ollie's. Only 3 things.
But I can keep everything I currently have?
Yes.
I would continue collecting G.I. Joe. I'd continue collecting Transformers. And I would continue collecting Robotech.
Okay. Now, is there more Robotech for you to collect out there?
So, here, I'm going to turn my camera around so I can show you guys what I would get into.
Okay, well, maybe I explain a little better. I mean in current lines.
No, this is current.
The past stuff. Now, I don't know that Robotech has anything current out there.
It is current. So it's not Robotech anymore. It's the Japanese original anime Macross, really. But they continue putting out what they call Valkyries or Veritech fighters, as Robotech would know it. So they keep making these from all the different animations, and they keep improving them in detail and articulation. And it's just, the only thing with them is they're pricey. They can be quite pricey, but they have the larger scale ones. They also keep making 1/100th scale ones, which would be more like 4 or 5 inch ones versus these are 12 inch. So they keep making these. And if it wasn't for some of the other lines that I collect, I could focus in more on collecting these. And then, of course, Transformers and G.I. Joe, I'm just always going to love. I would drop Exo Squad. They just don't even make Exo Squad anymore. So that's like, I have almost the whole set. They don't make new Exo Squad at all. So if I couldn't collect that anymore, no big deal. DC, I could drop. Marvel, I've got I've got like 750 some Marvel Legends. I've got more than enough Marvel characters. I could stop with the Marvel. So I would say I'd continue to collect G.I. Joe and Transformers and Robotech.
Yeah.
How about you?
Well, you pretty much know what mine are.
Well, I'm sure wrestling's sticking around.
Oh yeah, wrestling's going nowhere. I
It's
said the other day, one thing I would really like to collect more of is wrestling.
Yeah.
But around here, we don't get as much drops as the other places. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I get the Legends line, but I'm not getting the Elite 123, the 124, none of that stuff.
Right.
Other than that, I probably have to say and G.I. Joe Classified. But it kind of be hard to let the McFarlane go because I'm kind of deep into it now.
Uh-huh.
But I would almost say I would even drop it. I might even stop the G.I. Joe to do more NECA stuff. Because I think soon I'm going to be, unless they're putting other characters out, then it's going to be ones I don't know. How many more characters in G.I. Joe do we have to go?
Well, do you want an honest answer?
I mean, that I remember from the time I watched. Like, I didn't go all the way through the Sigma 6 and all that other stuff. So,
well, that you would probably remember from the cartoons, they could probably go like another 40 to 50 characters before you're like, I don't know who that is. But for me collecting, as long as I've been collecting, there are just so many, there's so many like niche characters that weren't in the cartoons that came with like vehicles. Like they were the vehicle driver, but you never heard of them because they were never in animation. They may have only appeared in a single comic book briefly in one frame. But they could probably go like 300 plus characters before they really start to run out of like original G.I. Joe characters from the 80s line. But yeah, probably like another 40 or 50 before you're really scratching your head, like wondering who the heck that is.
I mean, they've already done it with some. Like, I know some are from the comic books and stuff, like Shooter and the other chick, I can't remember her name, with the swords on her. What was her name?
Who, Jinx?
No, not Jinx. The blonde-haired chick.
Blonde-haired chick with swords?
Yeah, that could attach to her arms.
Did she come by herself or in a 2-pack?
Yeah, she came by herself. You gonna make me get up and get the figure, ain't you?
Probably.
I don't even know if I can reach you without my stepladder.
Jay, I agree. Jay, I would love to start collecting Mythic Legions. Mythic Legions look really nice. That's a rabbit hole that I probably shouldn't even try to get into, but Mythic Legions makes really, really nice figures. Bartman's saying Vipra, but she was introduced as a repaint in the late 90s, early 2000s of Jinx, obviously.
Here she is. And man.
Oh, Hydra. I think her name's Hydra.
No, that's not it.
Oh, then what's her name? Is it not Hydra?
No, I can't remember.
Do I have to go downstairs and find her?
Somebody, where's Triple D when you need him?
I can't remember her name off the top of my head either. Because here, I'm gonna go downstairs to the G.I. Joe room, okay? Go find her.
What's the name of the Jordan right here? I almost wanted to say sticks or something, but
It's not Sticks. Come on now.
I can't remember.
I'll find her. Because I'll have her in the box, obviously. Is she a Joe or a Cobra? I guess that's the first. She's a Joe.
Is it Helix?
Oh, maybe it's Helix. That sounds kind of good too. I just feel like it started with an H.
It's not Jinx.
Yeah, it's not Jinx. She was introduced when IDW had the rights.
Agent Helix. Chris Matthews got it.
Yeah, Agent Helix. That's it. I knew it started with an H at least. I don't even know where she is here in this mess.
But yeah, I didn't know.
Good job, Chris Matthews.
She's a cool figure. I just didn't know who the hell she was.
Yeah, well, she was created in the 2000s. She wasn't from the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like I can go down to like Hardball and stuff like that, Mercer. But once you get past that, I mean, I know sci-fi and those, but
Here, like character. Here, I'll run down some characters that we need real quick.
yeah, I would really like that Gung Ho in the Marine outfit, though.
Gung Ho in the Marine in the dress blues. Yes. Lifeline. We really need.
He's coming out. He's coming out.
Airtight. We need.
He's coming out too.
I would really like Scoop. Scoop was featured quite a bit in the cartoon series.
I kind of remember that one, but he's not on the radar that I know to come out yet.
I don't know how many people know Lightfoot here, but he was actually one of my favorite characters as a kid. I always loved Lightfoot.
I've heard of him, but I never had it.
They should do Admiral Keelhaul, who came with the flag. Even though they'll never do a flag in Classified, they should still do a figure of him. And Sci-Fi deserves a figure for sure.
Sci-Fi is getting one.
Law and Order is finally getting a figure, I believe.
Yes.
So there's still a lot of great characters. I mean, I know I'm going a little deeper here with like Spearhead there and the orange.
We're getting Blowtorch too.
Blowtorch we need. We should also get Charbroil. Where do I have in the back there? Our Charbroil there with the kind of like the Firefly red and silver helmet on.
See,
but
when are we getting Iceberg?
Yeah, we haven't gotten Iceberg yet. We haven't even gotten Iceberg or Frostbite.
Yeah.
So
I think they're gonna wait and do one of the snowmobiles and then give it to us.
I think we're gonna get a Snowcat.
I think so.
I think we should get a Snowcat and the polar bear or whatever the thing was called, the little jet ski thing.
And I think you'll get one of those with each of those.
Yeah, I would love to get a new Fridge, but Fridge, that depends on whatever rights his family has for his likeness.
Gridiron? I don't even remember Gridiron, I don't think.
Oh, Captain Gridiron. He was the one that threw football grenades.
Okay.
Here, I'll show them to you real quick.
Yeah, Toy Trooper ass.
Am I able? I guess I can't really zoom in. But he's there in the back in the green and the yellow pants.
Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of remember the name, but I don't remember.
It's just a matter of how many people are going to keep paying like $50 to $100 for these like vehicles and play sets. I guess that's the problem.
Jay, the wetsuit is another one I'm waiting on. That was always my go-to water guy.
Wetsuit. Yeah, we haven't got wetsuit. We've gotten Stalker, JW. We've gotten a couple of Stalkers at this point. Leatherneck is coming out. Torpedo.
Torpedo we already got. Now we don't have
Torpedo
a
we got. Yeah, no Deep Six yet.
What's up, Mario, Jordan, J-Dub, everybody, man? Thank y'all for coming in, guys. Okay, what was your other question, 80s?
All right, my bonus question?
Yeah.
All right. Do you think Star Wars as a toy line is on life support at this point?
Absolutely.
I agree with you.
Absolutely. I don't, even when they're coming to Ollie's and Ross, I barely even look at them. I'm like, I think I'm really just probably done.
Yeah, I feel like they're not selling even the most popular characters. Like at my Targets and Walmarts, like Darth Vader, Mandalorian, Boba Fett, like the Boba Fett that was on the 40th anniversary, like Return of the Jedi card. So not like Book of Boba Fett, but you know, the original Boba Fett everybody loves. They just sit and sit. I think Star Wars as a toy line is really in a bad shape right now.
I honestly think they would have to go back and try to start over, but I don't know how you even do that.
Hey, thanks for swinging by, JW. I don't know how you do that either. But I think the problem is like they're appealing to a fan base that's already bought these same characters multiple times at this point.
I mean, and all they're putting out there now is either 36 remade characters that we've already had,
yeah,
or they're doing all these ones from the series that nobody has attachments to. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people that do. You know, The Mandalorian did well when it first came out. But by the time you got 3 seasons deep, okay, I'm sick of Mandalorian. You know what I mean? Well, I was anyway. But
I still enjoyed it, but the new novelty of it wore off. And of course, the Acolyte toys are destined for Ollie's.
Oh,
at this point. They
might be there before Christmas, bro.
Yeah, they are going to be hanging out there with all the other Star Wars buddies there. All those Star Wars archive figures that they mass produced of characters. I just don't understand. I'd love to know their thought process on how they produce figures, because it seems like they do them evenly across the board, that you just end up with this glut of characters that not everybody really wants in their collection.
Yeah, I don't get it, man. I mean, and I love the original Star Wars, the first 3. You know, the other ones, I can take it or leave it. I don't really need those characters. I mean, there's a few characters that I wouldn't mind having in there. You know, a Mace Windu and some stuff like that is kind of cool to have, you know. But other than that, I've been really off on Star Wars Black Series. Once they raised the price, and then they just kept out throwing out Ahsoka with like a different lightsaber, or, you know, just box was different. It's like, what are we doing?
Well, there's another Ahsoka out now from the Ahsoka TV series. So now she's got Zayn says, are the clone troopers cheap now? So Zayn, the clone troopers are not cheap. Actually, the clone troopers are probably the only thing that is still very popular. And they haven't produced any clone troopers in the past like 2 years or so, like year to 2 year. So clone troopers are generally not cheap and not showing up at any of the discount stores.
You know, I'm gonna bring that up. If I was working Hasbro and they asked me the same question you just did, and they said, "Here, take this line and come up with 2 lines, and let's see how you do." You know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
I'm doing nothing but stormtroopers and nothing but bounty hunters, bro. That's it.
That would be a good idea.
That's what I would do. I mean, I don't know how else you really revive that. You know?
Yeah.
But everybody loves the stormtroopers, and none of us really ever got enough of them, especially the ones who like the troop build. If you want to do it, now you got to pay $40, $50 a piece for it. And the bounty hunters, when's the last time they made a good set of the bounty hunters?
Well, they've never done like a set. They've like split them up all across the Black Series, and then a couple of them have come back in the Archives line, but then they sell out real quick. Like, well, except for Dengar. Dengar's been hanging out at Ollie's forever, but nobody ever really liked Dengar.
But yeah, I mean, I would do that. Like, make the line 4 to 6 characters. You know, I mean, you could throw in another character you wanted to. Like, you could throw in a Skywalker, you know, here and there. Whether you wanted to put him in his flight jacket suit or the last Mark Hamill one where he wants to charge $700 for an autograph or whatever the hell. But we ain't gonna get into that because you think you lost an arm in Star Wars? You'd have lost more than that. You tried to charge me $700. I'm just saying. But I mean, and then do a bounty hunter set. You know?
Yeah.
I think that would really work.
Yeah, I agree with that. They should be doing some like 2-packs or 3-packs of some of these, especially when it comes to like clone troopers or stormtroopers. They should be doing multi-packs of those, not multi-packs of stuff like Tiger Force Roadblock and Tripwire or something that are sitting all over Target nonstop.
Now I know it would probably be more expensive, but I would want it to be like a $100 price range, maybe even $50. But if it was a decent thing where like Jabba set on and it had Jabba and the 2 Gamorrean guards with the little monkey thing or whatever, I would go for that. I mean, I probably wouldn't want to pay more than $120 for it, but I would buy that.
Zay, and I agree. They should give us some more characters from the Star Wars Legends, like from the old novels and the Dark Horse comic books. They at least started giving us some of the Shadows of the Empire, like characters from the old Nintendo 64 game. I saw those up, well, at least like Prince Zizor up for pre-order on Hasbro Pulse. But yeah, they need to do something outside the box, outside of like the movies and the TV shows that aren't really hitting with people.
I mean, and here's my other idea. The other idea, and this is right up Hasbro's alley, they do Build-A-Figures. Do a 6-person Build-A-Figure and have it all mixed out, like one from each one of the movies.
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
You know, and then the Build-A-Figure, which I don't know what the Build-A-Figure would be. Say you build the Wampa.
Oh, that'd be great.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, build one of the animals. Why not?
So, man, I need to work. Come on, Hasbro. Come on. No. I mean, I ain't doing no work. I'm just giving you ideas. You know? I just run my mouth. I don't do the hard part.
Yeah, here, Zayn, I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but on Hasbro Pulse's website, they have Prince Zizor from Shadows of the Empire up for pre-order. Of course, he's mixed in with, you know, Carrie Ann Moss's character from, you know, The Acolyte, and more versions of Luke and Leia from episode 4, but I guess it is what it is. They'll just keep shoving those same figures down our throats over and over again.
Yeah, or to resell other figures, do a reprint, a little upgrade from Return of the Jedi, 6-7 figure max, right? You could have Han Solo and Carbonite.
Yeah.
Right? And the Build-A-Figure is that damn thing that was underneath the Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, they were going to do that as a HasLab, and it's
no freaking HasLab. Quit being rude, Hasbro.
The Rancor monster.
The Rancor, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it didn't pass, did it?
No, it failed.
Yeah, see, just making a Build-A-Figure. It don't have to be that big. I mean, but look at some of these other figures we got that are Build-A-Figures.
I agree. Yeah, it did really bad. I don't even know if it cracked halfway there, because it was like the Rancor, and it came with like the Rancor Keeper or something like that, like the fat dude. And I think that was like it. People were not happy with how much it cost and how little you got.
Yeah. I don't blame them, man. Hasbro be doing some shady stuff. Well, you see they're giving us patches, but you're down with it.
Gonna put one patch here.
No, don't
one patch over here.
I will take that shirt back. Don't you not put
I'm gonna put one patch right over your face.
80s.
It's gonna be a football patch shirt.
But be honest with me though. Would you have rather had a figure or the patches?
Oh well, of course I would have rather had a figure.
Okay, then that's what I'm saying.
I know, but Hasbro's cheap.
I know that. We done established that in this episode.
They should have gave us just like a Cobra like flight deck character that nobody would have cared if it wasn't released singly, because it does kind of suck missing out on characters because they're part of a HasLab exclusive. But if it was just going to be something like a Cobra, like, flight crew guy that just loads the bombs onto the Rattler or something, I think that would have been great. It would have been an extra figure.
It could have been black and red or blue gear, and just have the flight mask on. I mean,
yeah, just anything.
It said fighter pilot or Cobra pilot, whatever.
I mean, at least we still got 3 figures with it, right? Yeah, 3 figures.
Yeah, but you charged us more. So basically, you gave us patches and charged us more.
It is larger than the Dragonfly, though.
I don't give a damn.
All right, that's fair, but it is at least larger than the Dragonfly. So yes, it costs more, but at least it is more vehicle.
Okay, yeah. I'm still not happy with it, but I did purchase it, and I'll tell you why I purchased it. Because I did not want to have to pay double the price when I wanted it later.
Exactly.
I think it's did that 3 times already. 3 times already.
I know. You could have bought so many extra HasLabs with that extra money that you paid on.
I know. And I should have bought an extra Dragonfly. But I'll tell you this, they made me mad on that too. When I heard they was putting out the stupid Glenda figure, I was like, you know what? I ain't buying another one because I don't want this damn Glenda figure.
I think you're going to end up liking the Glenda. The Glenda figure is just a repaint of Scarlet anyway.
I know, but
Then you can have a blonde and a red-haired version of Scarlet. It's going to be great.
But I got this. What do I need that for?
Because it's going to be on the same body. Who doesn't need a blonde and a red-headed version of Scarlet? Come on.
Man.
Hold on.
What else we got, 80s? Is that it for the night?
Hold on. Speaking of Scarlet, let me show you what I got.
Uh-oh.
Look, I picked up the Super 7 Ultimates version of Scarlet.
Nice. Full price or discount?
Discount. It was like $35 during Amazon Prime day or week or whatever.
Gotcha.
So I got her. I got not Destro. I already had Destro. I got Storm Shadow.
Okay.
And nice. I got a Cobra Trooper.
Yeah, I'm a little behind on those because I only get them when they're on a discount, so I haven't found the other ones yet. I actually want to find out to see who all I have. I know I have the first. I want to say I have the first 2 series, but I could be wrong. I may not have all of it, but
I have the whole first 2 series, and now I don't know how many series there are. I know I'm missing Stalker, Zartan, and Doc also.
I think they're on 5 right now.
Yeah, I gotta double check who all I'm missing. I know for sure I'm missing Stalker, Zartan, and Doc. For sure. Yeah, I don't have but I haven't found them at like $35 or cheaper where I'm more apt to. I really like that line though. Because it is like straight out of the cartoon.
Yes.
I just wish they weren't so expensive, but I really love this line. 80, you don't really like Star Wars, do you? I like Star Wars. I just don't like Star Wars toys.
You just don't like Star Wars.
I'm not like all. I mean, I've watched Star Wars like crazy. I've watched every Disney. There's not a piece of Disney TV or movie that I haven't watched. I've seen every single Star Wars movie. Star Wars movie and TV show, including the holiday special that came out back in like 1978 or whatever. Yeah, Jazz. Amazon has all these Super 7, but they have them. Some of them are like $60 for like Stalker and Doc and stuff. $35 or cheaper is my price on the ones I'm missing.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
35 or cheaper. I'm in on them, but other than that, I'm out.
Yeah. No, I like Star Wars Monster Madness. I just bought 2 Star Wars figures tonight at Ross. I got nothing against Star Wars. It's just the toys are a pain in the ass.
Now, I like Mayfix figures when I can find them at a discount.
I'll tell you what I'm going to start doing is buying those knockoff Mayfix figures from Express.
Have you tried one yet?
No, but they're only like $25. What's there to lose? I might as well try one.
I know. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times with the SH figure arts, you get an okay one, or then you end up with the amazing Yamaguchi Wolverine that I got. But
I think it was John Brown Band that I don't remember if he bought it or somebody gave him a black suit Spidey, the knockoff version, and he did a review on it. I think it was pretty decent.
Yeah, I've got a few of them. I've still got the Iron Spider and stuff like that. I just haven't done them yet. Now, the Agent Venom was pretty good, but I think I messed up and threw some of the parts away. But
yes, still true. Yeah, CT Toys is the one that does the knockoff Mayfix. Yeah. Not to be confused with ZD Toys, which is everything is getting so confusing with all these initials.
Hey, thank you for the follow, man. But I really like the ZD Toys. And I've got all my ZD toys except for one, or no? Yeah, except for the Deadpool, I think. I got all the rest of them from AliExpress.
Okay.
And I still got a bunch of them I hadn't even opened yet. I even got that big setup with the Iron Man where he's supposed to be changing his suit and shit.
Yeah, I think, was it John Brown Band or TNT Prime has that too? Or maybe both of them have it. Somebody reviewed that, and it looked really awesome. I'm surprised you got to bust that out.
Yeah, I need to.
You should do that next Marvel Monday.
Yeah, all right. I can try that.
Yeah.
That'll work. Yeah, because I still got some other ZD toys that I need to get to, too. Some SH Fig Arts, Amazing Yamaguchi. Hell, I still got to break out my Michael Jackson figure, man.
I didn't even know you had it. Oh, did you get one from
AliExpress? Smooth Criminal.
Can you pose it so that he is leaning forward?
Yep. Oh. You can have it where he's leaning like that, and it's got the jacket, looks like it's coming up.
Oh, well, you got to do that then. We got that open.
I've got a lot of stuff from. I got that Mike Tyson from AliExpress.
Well, you can have a Mike Monday, and you can go through Mike Tyson and Mike Jackson. But all the mics.
Hey, thank you for the follow, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know what the hell was going on with the likes. I don't know if I'm going to blame you guys in the chat. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to blame it on 80s kids. Maybe I'll blame it on me. But I did hear before I came on here that there was a lot going on. The likes weren't adding up right. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody in here was using the automatic tapper because something's coming up with they're trying to fight back against the automatic tappers or something. You know TikTok, it's always something.
Hey, no shortcuts, guys. Use your thumbs. You got to use those thumbs.
Yeah. They flag you for everything. I had to put the content thing on disclosure on here and, all that good stuff. It is what it is. I still had a good time, 80s. If you ain't got nothing else, I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up.
I'm good. I asked all the stuff that was on my mind if you don't got anything else.
No, I ain't got nothing else, boss. I'm about to get off here. I'm going to record a couple videos, and we're going to chill. And I do not work tomorrow because the wife's got a little procedure we got to do. So you might see me on early in the morning. You never know.
All right. Good luck to you, Mrs. Roast Beef.
But thank you, guys. Appreciate you, everybody in the chat. 80s Kid, thank you. Like I always say, we are many, but we will be one. And I may be leaving, but I'm still that uncultured heathen.